Jenna, and today I'm here doing my January wrap-up and my February TBR. In January, I managed to read a total of 7 books, which, if you look back at my January wrap-up from last year, you will see that that is actually a lot of books for me, when normally in January I'll only read like 2. This time I managed to read 7. I owe some of that to the fact that for the first week of January I was on a houseboat, which of course means that I didn't really get a chance to do anything else but read. So all we did on that boat, we had no internet access, so all we did was we read and we watched movies and we swam in the river. So that was an amazing trip. So it meant that I got a bit of a kickstart on my reading this year, and I participated in the winter 2018 biannual bibliothon and actually managed to finish 4 books, which was craziness. So I actually did a full wrap up of the biannual bibliothon, which I will leave linked in the description box below. So any books that are also in that video, I won't be talking about much in this video because I've already kind of talked about it and don't want to bore you guys with it twice. So the biannual bibliothon books I am going to show you first and just kind of tell you the rating and then tell you to go and check out that video, because if you want to know any more of my deeper thoughts, then definitely you'll have to check that one out. So during the winter 2018 biannual bibliothon, I finished The Naughtiest Girl Again by Enid Blyton, and I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky, and I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. The Magician's Nephew by C.S. Lewis, and I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. And The Cruel Prince by Holly Black, which I gave 3 out of 5 stars to, and which was also the YA Circles Book Club Book of the Month for January. Now moving on to the other books that I read in the month of January, the first book that I read this year was City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I read the 10th anniversary edition, which I have to say is beautiful. It's got these, and then at the start of every single chapter, if I can find a chapter, it's got these beautiful illustrations, and honestly, reading this book was the best decision I have ever made, okay? It has been so long since I have read the Mortal Instruments series, and so I've only ever had Shadowhunters, like the TV show, in my head, so that plot, and watching that show, I'm like, look, I know this plot is wrong, but I don't know why, and it's bugged me, and so I'm finally starting to reread this series, so reading this one was so much fun. I am in love with these characters, except maybe Clary. Clary is so annoying when she first shows up. My favourite characters are definitely Alec and Simon and a little bit of Magnus, but the funny thing is, I didn't realize how little of Magnus we actually see in this first book, and I completely forgot that Alec is a complete and total douche in the first book. Like, I didn't remember this. He's kind of douchey in the show too, but he's mostly like amazing and I love him. But in the book, I had no idea. I just completely forgot. So glad I've reread it now so that I have more of an idea of who the book characters are, because they are kind of a little bit very different to their TV show counterparts. So while I absolutely adore the plot, I did find it to be kind of oversimplified. I don't know, maybe it's just because like I've read a lot of YA since I first read this book back when I think I was in high school when I first read it. So I've read so many YA books since then that I don't know, I just found the plot to be really simple. I don't know what else to say about it. Just, yeah, I found it to be really like oversimplified, which is kind of odd, but I do really enjoy it. So I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read in January was Graevale by Lynette Noni. This one was a reread for me, and I read it because it's a physical copy and I wanted to reread it so that I could do a proper book review and book talk for you guys. The book review is up. I will leave it in the description box below. The book talk is coming soon, and I can guarantee you it's going to be so long, but there is so much to talk about. So I give this book a 5 out of 5 stars because it is my favourite book in the series, okay? The stakes, like, you know how they were raised for Dracora? Yeah, like, they're like up here for Graevale. The stakes are so much higher. The characters are complete badasses. I love every single one of them, especially Knights. He's my baby and I love him so much. But basically, everything about this book is amazing. The character growth, the plot expansion, the world building. We get to see so much more of Medora in this book. So if you haven't picked up the Majoran Chronicles yet, what are you doing? Like, how are you even on my channel when you haven't picked up the Majoran Chronicles yet? Come on, people. If I could click, I'd be clicking at you right now, but let's get a move on. So 5 out of 5 stars for Graevale, and recommend that everyone needs to pick up this series and read it. And then the last book that I read in January is Zenith by Sasha Ellsberg and Lindsay Cummings, and I'm gonna say right now on the internet, I loved this book. This book has so much controversy surrounding it, and even just in my own book club, okay, I was the only one who was defending it. Everyone else was like ripping it to shreds. I loved it. I really did. I really enjoyed and connected with some of the characters. The plot was just incredible, and that ending blew my mind and makes me really want the next book, because like you can't end a book like that. Like, come on, people. I think that if more people just like pushed through and read to the end, they feel the way I do, like, holy moly, I can't believe this happened. But everyone seems to give up at like the 30% mark, and no, you can't. You need to push through. So despite absolutely loving this book. The reason it only got 4 out of 5 stars from me is because the writing at times was really shaky and the middle was very rough. Like, there were times in the middle where I was like, all right, you're dragging it on a bit. Let's pick up the pace. And they picked up the pace for the ending, which I'm like, my brain exploded reading that ending. But yeah, the writing in places was a bit odd and it was very difficult to tell. Like, obviously this is 2 authors. It was kind of very difficult to tell that, which normally is a good thing, but we had like 6 different point of view characters and a couple of them really didn't need to be there. And I have to say, in the beginning we had like a lot of flashbacks, non-linear plot, which was a little bit confusing, but once you get through all that and the flashbacks kind of stop and the non-linear timeline still keeps going, but it like really intertwines really well with the plot. So once again, I say to people, you just have to get through like the first 30%, which everyone keeps giving up on. Like, stop giving up on books. Oh my god. I have a thing about DNFing books that I try really badly not to do unless they're uni books, because then they don't count. But something like this I would never DNF, because if I had DNF'd it I wouldn't have read that ending, and that ending blew my mind and was amazing. So those are all of the books that I read in the month of January, and now, as always, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the TBR that I have for February. I'm only going to be showing you the YA Circle Book Club Book of the Month, the books I have to read for the Shadowhunter Chronicles buddy read that I'm doing with Alex over at A Zombie Booktuber, and also my TBR jar challenge, which I'm really excited about because I haven't done one of those yet, so let's get going. First up, I'm going to show you the YA Circle Book Club Book of the Month for February, and that is Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertelli. I've read this book, love this book. I'm going to be rereading it this month because Love, Simon comes out next month, and I'm super, super, super pumped for that. I have friends who have seen it and they're like, Jenna, the movie's amazing. You're gonna love it. And I'm like, I hate you so much you've seen it. But really excited about it. There's so much to talk about with this book and I cannot wait to discuss it with my book club, so I'm excited. So if you don't know, this book follows a boy named Simon who is a closeted gay kid at his school, and he is being blackmailed by somebody who is wanting to hook up with one of Simon's friends. Basically, this guy who's blackmailing Simon has found emails that Simon has been sending to a boy named Blue, who is another closeted gay kid at the school, and so it's basically all about Simon trying to figure out who Blue is, trying to come to terms with his own identity, and also trying to stop this boy from releasing these emails. So good. I love it so much. Y'all should read it. As for the Shadowhunter Chronicles buddy read, Alex and I are both really far behind. We didn't realize we'd have so many other books to read, so the plan was to read 1 book a fortnight, and we haven't been doing that yet, so I have a lot of books here to show you. But basically, because we were gonna push it out and do different like times, like, I don't know, a book a month or whatever, but I really need them to up by June, and the only way to do that is to read them like a book a fortnight. So I'm going to be binge reading some Shadowhunter books this month. So first up is the 2nd and 3rd book in the Mortal Instrument series, and that is City of Ashes and City of Glass, both by Cassandra Clare. I am super excited to get to read these ones because, you know what? I have no idea what goes on in either book. Not at all. I really don't. I cannot for the life of me remember anything about them. I can remember one major plot point, but for the most part I can't remember anything because, like I said, the TV show changes everything. So I'm like, I don't know what the real plot is. So I'm really looking forward to reading these ones. These books continue the adventures of Clary Frey as she begins to navigate the Shadowhunter world while trying to find a way to wake up her mother. Yes, that's what happens. So I had to think about it for a minute because I was like, wait, is that the plot of the TV show? Because they are 2 very, very different things. No. That is the plot of these books, is Clary, and she's trying to navigate her way into the shadow world, which she's only just come into, and yeah, try and find a way to wake up her mother. So yes, that's what's happening in these books. But then to get back on track with the Shadowhunter Chronicles buddy read, I then have to read 2 books of the Infernal Devices series. So I also have to read Clockwork Angel and Clockwork Prince, both by Cassandra Clare, and if you'll know me at all, you'll know that I have read Clockwork Angel and was not really a fan, so it's going to be a push to make me read both these books. Plus look at how thick they are. Like, why? Why do they have to be so thick? I just don't understand. So this series is a prequel series to the Mortal Instruments and follows a girl named Tessa Gray who travels from America to London in order to meet up with her brother, but instead of meeting her brother there, she is met by the Grey ladies? No, that's not right. She's met by these 2 people who are not very nice to her, and they tell her that she has powers and that they're going to try to unlock them and all this sort of stuff, and that's kind of Tessa's role. And the reason I had a big issue with this book is because it is a carbon copy of City of Bones. Like, it's exactly the same, just instead of Shadowhunter we get Warlock, and instead of Clary we have Tessa. So yeah, literally exactly the same, because we even have a love triangle, and instead of Jace we have Will, and then instead of Simon we have Jem. So like, there's nothing new about this book at all. Do I really have to read it? And now we're gonna do my TBR jar challenge for February. I'm really excited about this. I haven't ever done a TBR challenge before, so shake it up. Okay, I think I got 1. Yeah, I got 1. Alright. Thought maybe I had 2 for a second. So, read a book with an LGBTQ plus protagonist. Well, I mean, I think I'm covering that. Yeah! That's the best. Okay, so TBR jar challenge and YA Circle Book Club. Tick. So I'm pretty happy about that. So there you have it. Those are all of the books that I read in January and the books that I'm planning on reading in February. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section below what you read in January and what you're planning on reading in February. I would absolutely love to know. If you like this video, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing. Stay random. Bye.